Everybody can join in here. 1 second. There we go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. We are live for the Elliott Wave Show. There we go. Weekly Elliott Wave analysis, riding the waves with John and Paul. And we've got Paul here tonight with us from beautiful Colorado.
Hey, what's up, people? Let's go.
All right, let's do this. All right, can I get a sound check out there? Was everybody able to hear Paul there?
Hey, how's it going out there? Just doing a sound check. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C.
Yeah.
Anybody? Sound check, sound check. All right, Cecilia, thanks so much. Thanks, guys. I'm glad everything's coming through okay here. Give me one more second. Let the group know, too. There we go. Cool. All right, great. Well, yeah, so I hope everybody had a wonderful and blessed Thanksgiving and a great holiday weekend. So it was a short week last week, but there was definitely some interesting moves. And now we've got a full week ahead of us with traders possibly coming back from vacation. Tomorrow is the last day of the month, which should be pretty interesting too. So we might see a little bit of window dressing going on if they want to try to pump the market, and then we'll see how December goes. If we want to get some fresh flows into the end of the year, and of course we've got a potential Santa Claus rally and all that fun stuff going. So good stuff there. All right. So again, looking forward to the show again tonight. We're going to be looking at some Elliott Wave setups, talking about some Elliott Wave concepts, and we won't be able to get through every chart request tonight, but we'll get through a few, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it as we've done the last several weeks. So just a reminder, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right, so what we're going to do is what we usually do. We're going to take a look and see where we left off with the market on Friday. Then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what they're up to or down to this evening, and what might be going on into tomorrow morning. And then we'll get started with the show. So let's get started. All right, so SPX. Woo! Look at that monthly candle. Took the inside month up here, right? And we held that pretty well, and we're really, really close to all-time highs. Monthly chart is over the upper Bollinger Band here. Weekly chart. Okay, so we saw kind of a couple pause weeks right here, right? We had this big push up here over these prior resistance levels. We had what was looking like a potential doji sandwich, and really ended up giving you an inside week the prior week, and then last week, short week, we ended up getting over that inside week, but not with a lot of momentum. The market's a little bit nervous here at all-time highs, but getting close to all-time highs, but we'll see if it can continue to push. In terms of the Elliott Wave count, well, obviously there's a few counts out there. We haven't quite achieved all-time highs yet, but it's very, very possible that we get there. So this recent impulsive move up looked to us like a wave one up, possible ABC wave 2, and now we might be in a subwave 1, 2, possibly working on a subwave 3. So this kind of gets us into the topic. This is one of the topics I wanted to highlight this evening is the 1-2-1-2, right? And so this is really looks a lot like that. So we'll see here. I mean, basically just in summary what it is, right? So wave 1, right? As you guys know in Elliott Wave is a wave consists of 5 waves, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So that's actually a little bit inaccurate right there because wave 3 can't be the shortest wave. But you have wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, right? Wave 2 and 4 are ABC corrective moves, and each wave 1, 3, and 5 are all impulsive moves. So a 1-2-1-2, right, is where you have 1, 2, and then since wave 3 is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? We look for a 1 essentially in this area right here, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish that wave right here. So here you have a 1, 2, 1, 2, and this often leads to impulsive moves to the upside, and that is what we're looking at right now in the market, right? So we have this possibly, right? If this count is valid, right? We have a 1, 2, 1, 2, and we're working on that wave 3 up potentially right here. So we'll see if we can get some strength going into the end of the month here, and if this thing can blast its way up to all-time highs and possibly continue going. So we'll see where we go from there. So that's kind of the theme of the night. Let's take a look at the price action here on Friday on the SPX. So it was a little bit blah, right? So we had So we had we had a half day on Friday, right? So the day isn't finished here, but we did have a nice gap up, but they couldn't take it for the gap and go. Instead, they gave you a double inside 15, and then ended up taking it down, and they gave a rally here off of the closing gap, right? So it filled the open gap and then filled the closing gap and then reversed off of that into the close. So nice stuff there, and of course. These are the levels that we provide to our members for each market open, and you can see right here how perfect that yesterday's close. We call that the closing gap because it represents where the price closed the day before. We filled that, right, and worked our way up after we got out of the 15 orb range and then through these other levels. So a great area for potential bounce, and that's where we finished up on the short day on Friday. So good stuff there. Let's take a look at the futures and see what they're up to or down to here this evening. So the futures were actually up pretty nicely here. So originally, right? So we gapped up and they pushed and they came into this big signal zone that we have above up here, gave us an upper shadow, right? And then pulled back pretty sharply here. Although right now, this could be a wave one, impulsive wave up, and this could be a zigzag wave two to the downside. So this may be a wave one, two, and we might be seeing some more upside if it doesn't take out the start of this wave down here. So we'll be monitoring that this evening and going into tomorrow and see what we have in store then. So pretty cool stuff right there. In fact, we had a nice impulsive move up here going into Friday, and in the pre-market after hours, we got really consolidated right here. So we kind of a move right here. This could be a running flat. If this were your impulsive move up, this could be your A, this could be your B. We could even decline below here even more to make that kind of a running flat type move and see if this thing can try to work its way up. So a lot of different possible counts right here, but we'll see how they go going into the rest of the night and into tomorrow. So good stuff. All right. Well, I'm really happy again to have Algo382 to have Paul here this evening. So Paul, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you. What are you seeing this week in the market, and maybe some names that are on your radar?
Okay, one thing we could look at is T-Doc, since we're just talking about 1-2-1-2s.
Awesome.
We talked about this last week, but I still like it, mainly because we had a really nice ABC correction, and then we're getting a move up here. We had a wave 1-2, and then we had another 1-2, and you can see the wave 2 overlaps with the previous wave 1. It technically could be an expanding diagonal or something, but we're going to call the 1-2-1-2, and I think this has quite a bit of upside left to it.
Exactly. So a lot of times these can be very, very bullish setups right there. And that's looking really nice. That's the 4-hour chart right there. A blast out through that cloud could really give this thing a push up to those 230, 240 levels. And this has been a pretty hot name too. A lot of institutions are liking this one as well with the COVID and all that stuff.
Yep. What else do I got? Let's see. How about silver? We've been talking about gold. It seems like the metals might be about to go up, but I'm really liking the count on silver also. We have a WXY, and the last wave, wave C, breaks down into 5 waves. So this could be it for silver. Wave 2, we could be going up from here. It's one that we got to watch a little bit and see how it acts Monday.
Definitely, yeah. The metals have been really, really interesting. They used to be kind of reliable as a going inverse the market, but they've been kind of in their own little world recently. Silver has had a lot of issues too. I think J.P. Morgan involved with silver. A lot of stuff's been going on with it, so it's been all over the place. But generally has overall been pretty strong with the market. Again, it's up to $21 right now. We talked about it way back yonder when it was like $10 again, and has just climbed a lot since then. So we'll see if that can get its way up there a little bit. So nice stuff.
Cool. We're looking at what else we got. FSLY, pretty popular ticker. Let's see here. I got a pitchfork on this one, and this is another 1-2-1-2. We got 1-2-1-2, 3-4, and it looks like we just had a subwave 1 up, and we might get a correction right down to the pitchfork trend line, and then another bounce up.
Very nice. I like the channel there. Again, like we talked about last week, we know that corrective waves and impulsive waves like to be contained by channels, and that is a nice channel pitchfork right there too. So let's see if that can continue to hold and work its way up. I know we've got, if you don't mind, I'm gonna pull up my charts here for a second. We'll take a look
Oh,
at a
go
couple
for
of
it.
them. We even Shirley sent in a few in via email to a few chart requests out there, and I noticed that she had Zoom on there. So since you mentioned FSLY, I want to bring up Zoom. Zoom,
Okay.
of course, Paul, you nailed this one a couple weeks ago on the daily triangle breakout. This is on one of our first shows right here. We were talking about triangles. We were talking about corrective patterns and how wave fours can be triangles, and also wave Bs can be triangles right here. So we looked at this as a potential wave four, and then we finished up. We got our wave five up. That was a huge move after that, and then we had our zigzag correction down, which I was pretty bearish on it, looking for this open gap right here. It got pretty close to it, and then it looks like we're kind of working on this harmonic pattern to the upside right here. And we did a newsletter this weekend where we talked a little bit more about harmonics and how we can use Elliott Wave to help us ride the waves in a harmonic move. And you can see real nicely here with Zoom, right? It gave kind of this this 1, 2, kind of 3, 4-ish type triangle leading move to the upside right here for a really, really nice move up on Zoom, and gave some incredible moves this week and some great opportunities. Now, Zoom has earnings coming up tomorrow, Monday, after the close. So FSLY, like you were pointing out, rising up in that channel, is a great sympathy mover with Zoom. Because they handle a lot of the back end stuff in a lot of these tech names. Also, we've seen a lot of names move recently on Black Friday with like Shop, Etsy, names like that. And so FSLY will definitely be a good one to have on the radar. So good stuff. I'm glad Shirley mentioned that one. And again, guys, thanks everybody for keeping Shirley your thoughts and prayers as she gets better all the time. So good stuff there. Paul, back to you.
Well, sounds good. Let's see, what can I find here? How about CRM?
Hmm.
It's been a fun one. Let me go
Huge
to
drop the other day.
yeah. So here's CRM. We have a big channel that we got our ABC wave 4. Then we had a nice push up for wave 1, and it looks again like another completed ABC. Not 100% on this one. Going to have to watch the price action Monday, but it's possible we have started wave 3 up. We'll look for an impulsive move up Monday.
So
To
this will be
confirm
very
that.
interesting. So CRM guys, the reason that CRM went down was because they had news, and the news is that they're planning, that there's talks that they're planning on acquiring Work, WORK. So they're thinking about buying Slack. Now CRM is a huge acquisition company, right? I mean, obviously they do their CRM work and all that, Salesforce and everything, but they're huge at buying companies, and Work would be one of their biggest acquisitions ever. Maybe they took the bold move because CRM was recently added to the Dow Jones Industrial Average, so it's one of the big software names on the Dow now. So maybe with that added confidence and extra investment, they're looking to do a big acquisition like Work. So that should be very interesting too. And Work, conversely, and that finally, we've been seeing so many divergences in the market. Like a lot of times you'll see an acquisition, and typically the company that's acquiring a company goes down and the company that they're buying goes up, right? And this is actually one of those situations where it actually happened, right? CRM flush. And if we pointed this out in our group, in the live stream and in the Discord, about this, and members did really, really well because Work actually got halted because of the volatility upside. But we were pointing out CRM as a potential short, and it was a great short. Members did really, really well off of that one. So this is interesting. So CRM's got earnings this week, and that should be some pretty big news. So if you're looking at a potential impulsive move up, well, obviously we never recommend anything, but definitely trading into earnings is very, very risky. We've done a series on that before. But if it does start, that a good earnings report could get things going. But I wonder what they'll say about Work. So that should be interesting too. Do you have a chart on Work, Paul?
I do. Let's see here. Pull it up. Okay, here's Work.
Look at that. So that was the buyout news right there, and just a huge push to the upside. Look at that.
Big wave 5. I'm not sure this has anything left in it. Maybe a little bit, but we'll see.
I think a lot of traders are probably anxious in it, right? So, but I'd be careful with it, right? There could be some shenanigans that go on. Again, remember AMD buying Xilinx was a big acquisition news too, and then for a while it was, they talked about the deal not going through and things like that. So, I mean, on Work, if there's any news, is there any hint that the deal's not going through? Look at this thing to make that possibly that wave 2 pullback.
Yep. Let's see, what else do I
Great
got?
stuff.
How about CGC?
Yeah. So, guys, huge news on Friday in the pot sector. So, it sounds like there's going to be a vote in Congress over legalizing marijuana on a federal level. And that got, I mean, a lot of times, guys, on kind of slow, choppy days or holiday days, news can really move stocks. And this really got a lot of the pot names going, right? So CGC gave a big move right there. But again, whether or not that actually, the vote is, supposedly going to come through this week. But will they vote for it? Are they going to sell it, on the news? So what do you got here, Paul?
Okay, it looks like we got a completed 5 waves up for wave one. I think it's possible we could get a sell-off Monday down into wave two territory.
Mm.
But
So
it looks like, yeah,
yeah. So keep an eye on that one for sure. This is we might see a little follow through the upside, but definitely be cautious here, right? There could be some potential pullback activity going on this one. So a lot of times we see that off of these big names, right? These and especially the pot sector. The pot sector is known to give these big pushes and give these nasty pullbacks.
yeah. Let's see. Let me bring up, how about MJ?
The MJ sector.
MJ. MJ looks like it has some more room to go. We had a big wave three here, and then we had a corrective wave four, pretty deep wave four. We filled the gap, and it looks like we're 1, 2, 3, 4. We're working on wave five of five, but I think MJ has some more legs to it. Could probably reach the 618 at around 1586.
So that's interesting. That could support the idea that it might be a little more upside to the pot names, but we still have to be really, really careful here, right? Because if that wave four is not it, right, that just could be four could be a wave A, right, and that next push up there could be kind of a wave B, and then we might see a big wave C pullback.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we gotta be careful off of that too. So good stuff.
Yeah. Let's see. How about Kirk? Everyone's been talking about Kirk.
Kirk, this is awesome, guys. So as you guys know, Paul is in our member Discord. He's got the Elliott Wave channel in there. So anybody who's been thinking about jumping in the group, it's a great group, right? Paul is live pretty much all day. You can ask for chart requests. Just give him time to pull it up out there, and he really helps a lot of our members, get some solid wave counts on there to confirm their ideas. If you're looking at learning Elliott Wave, our group is a great place. We've got a lot of great Elliott Wave traders in there. You can bounce ideas off of each other and really look for good counts, and folks are doing really, really well with it. So really, really good stuff. And once again, of course, there's a plug there, but there is a link in the description here if you guys want to jump in the Discord. There's a link there, the Trade with Paul link. Be sure to check that out.
Yeah. So let's see. So Kirk was really explosive. We had a 1-2, and we thought we were going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, but we had a retracement exactly 61%. So we called this a 1-2, and sure enough, we got a real big push out of that. And I think we completed wave three, and we'll probably be getting a wave four pullback, which we're going to try and buy. But Kirk looks good.
That's awesome. It's funny. I have to laugh because sometimes I feel like our group is the only are the only people trading Kirk, because
Yeah.
I've pulled up some of the option activity on it, and it's kind of a low volume option trading name. But every time I look in the group, folks are trading Kirk, and I'm pretty sure that we're make the majority of volume on this one. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But it's going, so that's nice. Yeah, nice. So let's see how that holds there on that on a potential wave four pullback there.
Yeah. Let's see what else. How about, I just brought this up by mistake, but why not? CSIQ. I think it's a solar name, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Canadian Solar has an absolutely beautiful wave one, then a nice wave two pullback. It's only a 23% pullback, which is pretty bullish. And then we have another one too, which is 61% pullback. So I think this stock has room to run for sure. I think we're going to make it up to wave three on this one.
Nice. So we got a 1-2-1-2.
Yep.
Perfect. Great for the theme of the week. Yeah. So, guys, solar has been so strong recently. I have to laugh. It's because I hardly ever, we monitor ETFs on the live streams and in the group, and I hardly ever see solar red. And anytime I ever do see it red, it gets bought up. Then, basically like the next day. It's hilarious. So, definitely a good sector to keep an eye on there. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so awesome. If you don't mind, I'm gonna pull up a couple charts that I have on my radar for Elliott Wave, and then we could probably take a look at a few chart requests that are out there.
Sounds good.
Okay, so let's take a look here. One of the ones that's kind of looking kind of interesting is McDonald's. I like McDonald's because not because of their food, but because this one does trade really well with Elliott Wave. It's given us a lot. It trades well with trend lines. It trades well with Elliott Wave. It's not a beautiful anymore since COVID. It's not. It doesn't have great spreads anymore, but it is starting to look kind of interesting right here. We're holding a little bit of support on this, and it looks like we may be in after this steep pullback off of earnings. And keep in mind, they actually had pretty good earnings. We might be in a kind of a 1-2-1-2 type move right here. This is on the daily chart. This could be your wave one, wave two pullback right here. Right, we might see this. We might have kind of this 1-2-1-2 moving on right now. So
Yep. Yeah.
let's see if let's keep an eye on Mickey D's right here. It's got dividend coming up here tomorrow. So maybe after dividend, maybe this thing will get like a little bit of a boost. So that's one that's on the radar there. And another one that Shirley put out there was Adobe. A lot of these software names are really
Adobe.
starting to look interesting. I was looking at Adobe as a potential harmonic mover right here too. And a lot of times with these harmonics, we can find some nice moves. And so what we're kind of seeing here is a potential, right? Kind of this wave one, wave two pullback right here, right? Sort of this, you've got kind of this A, B, C wave two, looking like a flat, and it may be ready to start. It looks like it's working on an impulsive move up. So keep an eye on it right here, right? This could be sort of like a 1-2-1-2. So one of the things we're going to track on this is to see if we get any sort of retrace off. It did leave an upper shadow on Friday, so let's see how it holds at 382. Maybe it fills this gap, but this 618 is definitely going to be in line in the sand. If it does pull back, we'll look at this as a potential buying opportunity to possibly ride up into an earnings run. So that's definitely one that we're keeping an eye on there too. So those are just a couple ones I wanted to put out there for the Elliott Wave, and I'm glad Shirley asked about a couple of those too. So other than that, Paul, if you've got any other you want to mention, otherwise we could definitely take a look at a few chart requests out there.
Sure. I got one more that's pretty interesting. How about Baidu?
Baidu.
Yeah, Baidu. I really like this count. We got a nice 1-2 and another nice 1-2. It had a pretty clean retrace, a little over 50%, but I think it's looking good.
Nice, Baidu. That's a tricky one. It's such a tricky name to trade. We've got Baba out there as a request. So, but good stuff, Alma. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at Paul. Do you have anything on Bitcoin?
I do. Let's see. I was just looking at Bitcoin and I was going to say,
It gave a pretty harsh pullback there, didn't it?
yeah, it looks like a wave A, and then we were going up, and I thought we were going to stop at the 618, but just recently we pushed through the 618.
Interesting.
But I still think we're going to get an ABC here, probably a C down to 15,000, 1542 or something. But it looks like an ABC.
Cool, good find on that one. Thanks, Alma. I appreciate it. Mike, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, so we've got Boeing, CCL, or Amazon. Any of those you want to take a stab at there, Paul?
How about Amazon? I have on
Yeah, if you take a look
here.
at Amazon, I'll pull up Boeing 'cause that's one of my favorite ones to track.
Okay, let's see.
Amazon's a mess, by the way, just
Yeah,
overall. But it does look like it's trying.
yeah. It looks like we had a strong push here, a nice wave one, and we're in a corrective wave two. We're at about 50%. So I think Amazon could be one that Monday morning has a quick down and an explosive move up into wave three.
Nice, that's the 1 hour chart. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on a dip buy on Amazon going in tomorrow for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna pull up Boeing, Mike. This Boeing. So
Oh,
let's see how this one's looking here. So again, this was a huge, just consolidated pattern for a very, very long time, right? So and keep in mind too, off of this recent move down. Right, so I mean, if you kind of go, deep into Boeing right here, right, so it had this nasty, nasty move down right here, right, so for the Corona crash, and possibly, kind of like this, wave one A B triangle C, and then just this flush, right? So it's tough, right? So I mean, but off of this last wave, we had this big move, right? And so overall, we're kind of at a 50% retrace off of the last drop down. So we want to see if it can get its way up to the 618. It has been impulsing up out of this triangle right here, so it's got a little bit of room if it wants to. One of the things we're kind of looking at here is maybe this is kind of a wave one up, right? You had your wave two. And then this looks like a possible wave three. And let's get here. 3, and then this looks like wave 4 didn't retrace wave 5, so it's getting really tight right here. So we might see another push to the upside to get us to that 618 level that we were just looking at. So let's keep an eye on Boeing and see if it's ready to give a little bit more of a push at an inside day on Friday. So we'll see if we can kind of break out of there and maybe show us some impulsive action. So good stuff there. Nice, Mike. I appreciate it. So awesome. Rocky, you've got Baba. Do you have anything on Baba, Paul? I know we were talking about that last week, and it did give us a nice move to the upside after our show.
Yeah. Yeah, Baba, what a fun one. We were watching this one come down in wave 4. It seemed like we were in wave C for a week or something, but we eventually bottomed. We got our wave 4, and then we had this push up. We have a really nice wave 1. It looks like it has 5 waves. And it looks like we're doing an ABC down into the 50% range.
Nice. So look for a potential viable dip on Baba going into this week. That could be interesting. So good stuff there. The Nest, what's going on? Good to see you. So JKS, nice. Well, we just looked at one solar name. We looked at silver. You've got Apple on the list. I saw Paul just had Apple up there. Let's take a look at Apple. I think, isn't Apple working on kind of this bigger triangle type move? Maybe.
I did have this listed as a triangle before. Yeah, it can be listed 2 ways. It can be an A, B, C, D, E triangle, or it can be a 1, 2, 1, 2. So it can be kind of both waves, but regardless, it looks like we got a strong move up in the wave 1. I think we're going to have a shooting star candle for wave 1. I think we're going to have a wave 2 pullback and then another big push for Apple for sure.
Yeah, I mean Apple. This thing's just been blah for a while. So let's see if that pullback does become viable, and we'll go from there. So obviously, if we see anything really good, we put it in the. Not only do we mention it in our group in the Discord, but we've also got the Bubble Report, and the Bubble Report is our daily morning newsletter. So that comes out that gives everybody a fresh perspective on the market going into the morning. I think it's probably one of all the ones I've ever seen out there. I think it's probably one of the best ones out there. Plus, Paul contributes to the Bubble Report and puts out 2 fresh wave counts each morning, and that we include in there. So usually we just pick the best of the best. So it would be interesting to see to Apple make that list one day again, which would be nice. So good stuff there. Good. So the Nest, we got Apple on that one, and yeah, definitely gold and silver are looking interesting out there. What else? Cecilia, thanks again so much for the sound check. Thanks, guys, for the sound checks on those. Salil, thanks so much. Royal, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Hope you had a wonderful weekend, too. Paul, do you have anything on either? Pick one of these 3, Square, Piton, or Pins.
How about Pins? That's been
Pins has been interesting. You called that out in the group the other day, and I was like, let's wait until it breaks out of the geometric line. But that thing really started to push, and I know members did really well off of that one. You pointed that out in the Elliott Wave group.
Yeah, this was in the Bubble Report, I believe. But we had a big wave 3, ABC 4, and then we had this strong just grind up in wave 1.
Mm-hmm.
And we weren't sure, like, it's going up, but we finally got a nice ABC pullback. And it looks to me like we're going up in wave 3, and the target looks to be about 87.49. I think we're going to hit it.
Yeah, that last candle right there started to break out of that out of a geometric line on here. I'm just going to show it real quick on the daily chart here. So definitely one. Last week we did a series after we did the Elliott Wave show. We did a series on swinging, right? Swinging options, and this is the first candle here out of this geometric through this pivot right here. And you can see exactly it, right? So we have this nice move here. We just really want to see if we get any. It was tough. It was really tough last week with volume. I like to see some volume on these breakout candles. So one of the things we want to be careful with on a breakout candle like this, right, is we don't necessarily want to jump in here. We just want to see how it handles it, right? So tomorrow, for instance, if Pinterest gaps up and we get some good volume going in there, we might get a gap and go, right? But we also want to see if if it just kind of pauses out there, that might give us a inclination for a pause that this thing is ready to get going. But definitely on the radar right here, and a strong move on Friday. Nice one on that one. Good, thank you, Royal. I appreciate that one. So yeah, so we're surfing, riding the waves. So Suyak's got a couple out there. We looked at Zoom, and I know we had a few out there on AMD, but we can't finish an Elliott Wave show without looking at Tesla. Tesla.
Yeah, let's see here.
You got one. I'm sure you got one on Tesla, Paul. So this thing's crazy. I mean, that triangle was epic.
Yeah, this did have a long triangle. It was consolidating and going sideways for a long time, but we got our A, B, C, D, E. and then we just got this huge, almost straight up breakout for a 1-2-1-2. And to me, it looks like we probably finished wave three and we should be getting the pullback and then up in wave five. But Tesla can surprise you. You know, the bulls like to step in on this one, so we'll just have to see.
Huge breakout on that one. Big move on Tesla. Nice stuff. See, I appreciate it. Michael, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah. So, have you done anything on PLNTR, the Planeteer?
Let's see. Yeah, I got PLTR.
This thing's been nuts.
What a run! Yeah, this had an incredible push up for a wave three, and it looks like we just started to consolidate. We're above the 382, but I have a feeling we're going to do an ABC wave four here.
Interesting, yeah. So watch for a little bit of pullback. Yeah, Citron just Planeteers, the Planeteer got Citron a little bit there. So good stuff there. Awesome, good. So, Simar, what's going on? Let's see what else we got. So we've got yeah, the pot stock's crazy. So Francis, thanks for tuning in. Chris, thanks for tuning in too. Lemonade. Have you done any lemonade? If not, I can take a stab at it.
I got that one.
Do
Let's
you?
see. Yeah,
Nice.
lemonade. This was a strange count. I saw it last week, but I didn't get it out there fast enough. But what an incredible 1-2-1-2.
Oh wow.
And then we have all our prices are closing above the 80 EMA, and it looks like we even have a doji sandwich here, and we're in the middle of wave three.
Wow. Nice. Great find. Nice, Francis. Appreciate it. So good stuff there. And PLTR, we just looked at there, Samar. So good stuff right there. So the Nest, I think this is a good one. A lot of folks have been tracking this name. We sure have with that sideways cup and handle breakout. But JMIA.
Oh, JMIA. Let's see here. JMIA. Okay, here's JMIA. I'm going to go 3 hour on this one. Yeah, we had just a huge move here off of this 1-2. Looks like a 1-2-3-4-5, and it looks like wave three is finished, and we're doing a sub wave four pullback.
Yeah, so we just have to be a little bit careful with JMIA here. I mean, this thing gave I'm going to pull it up here on the daily chart. Just one of the things that we really liked about JMIA, and Umesh, I'm not sure if you're out there, if you're watching the recording, but this is one that we're stalking, right? This cup and handle move, right? So we originally saw the breakout through this geometric line here, but this is why we don't like to chase these, right? But this was we did a series on this here, right? So letting runners run, right, with the inside day, right? We got a nice push right here, and then this candle broke out, and then when we saw the extra strength pushing through the those levels here here on the 19th, this thing was just go time on JMA. Just really impressive moves on it. But now we got to be careful, right? So we've got a not quite dark cloud cover, but a rough candle on Friday. So we'll see how it holds. Maybe it just kind of is calming down a little bit right there. So good stuff there. Corey, what's going on? Thanks for the request. Abdal, we looked at the pot sector again a little bit earlier. So good stuff there. So if you missed it, definitely be sure to check that there. Yeah, crypto's forever. We got a bunch of requests out here for AMD too. So I don't know, AMD or Piton, if you want to take it, if you want to look at any of those, Paul.
Sure, let me grab Piton. That was looking
Okay,
pretty.
and I'll get AMD.
Okay, yeah, Piton. Let's see here. Yeah, Piton had a big 1-2, and it looks like we're in a big wave three up. And right now, the sub waves look like we might have done another mini 1-2. But I think Piton's going to run this week for sure.
Get ready to go. Nice. Yeah, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 on this one. So this thing is either going to go or it's not. Right. It's a really important area for it. So nice stuff there on Piton. Definitely keep it on the radar. So good stuff there. And then AMD. I'm going to take a look at AMD here.
Okay.
So let's see what we got. So AMD, again, it's been pretty tricky, right? But if you look at this last impulsive move up, right, this definitely looks like an A, right, B, C type move right here, right? Just like kind of the rest of the market. If you figure this was the finish of an impulsive wave, right now it looks like sort of this is like a 1, right? Wave 2 pullback right here, right? You get your fib extensions on here. That wave 2 is right off of the 618, off of an inside day, right? They don't make it easy, but it looks like it's just kind of grinding its way up right here, right? Sort of like a 1-2, 1-2 on AMD. So again, the real key level right here is this is the last geometric line that we saw, and we're having trouble closing above these geometric lines, which makes it a little bit difficult. So let's see what it gives us tomorrow. Maybe if we get a strong close on that one, it might be ready to get going. So we'll look over the next 2 days. Let's see what AMD has in store. So good stuff there. We saw a bunch of requests us on there. So Leo Paul is an absolute beast. I love it. Best decision to join the Discord group. You will make membership fees in minutes following this. I'm telling you, folks. I mean, obviously nothing is, investment advice or anything like that. But folks who want to learn Elliott Wave and who are progressing with it and want to bounce charts off of somebody like Paul. I mean, it's just a great opportunity to be able to do that intraday. So good stuff. Matt, appreciate it. Awesome. Good stuff. So, Cesar, yeah, we looked at Baba already. Sammy, what's going on? You got SE. We may as well look at SE. Have you done a chart on SE, Paul?
Actually, I don't.
You don't? Okay, so let's take a look at SE here. So SE again. This is a tough name. It was great for a while. Right, it was really holding this. It was just super impulsive for a while. It was channel bound for a very, very long time, and now it is really just kind of megaphoning right here. Right, so we have this this megaphone type formation. I mean, you can kind of look at this sort of like an ABC type move, but until we can start to break out of a couple of these geometric lines, it's a little bit out of play for me right now. But their earnings were a little bit blah, but a little bit they were a miss, but they were better than expected, right? So let's just see if we can get to those geometric lines and see where we go from there. So good stuff. So Tracy, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Angel, yeah, Tesla. Have you? Let's see. We got a couple ones out here. We're gonna have to wrap up a little bit soon, but I've seen a lot of requests out here for. I've seen a few requests out here for. Do you have Walmart, Paul?
I do have Walmart. Yes.
Let's take a look at Walmart for Angel. And we looked at AMD and NEM, Tracy. We did. We looked at gold, or we looked at silver for the metal. So, but definitely want to keep an eye on it. If you have it tomorrow, we'll take a look at on the lightning round on that tomorrow too. So Walmart, look at that triangle.
Walmart's interesting because we have a nice wave 1, then a wave 2, and then a very short wave 3, which means that wave 5 cannot really go much higher than the 618. Or we'll have to do a total recount, but. We do have a 3-4. It looks like an ABCDE triangle, so we'll be watching this one Monday for sure.
Nice triangle, that one. And then, guys, we're going to finish up. We looked at Alex. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Umesh at Tesla. So, yeah, I mean, it could be. So, yeah, megaphones are tough. Megaphones are tough. So they're tough to call, right? They're not as easy as a triangle. A megaphone is like, oh, well, it could work its way up or go to the other end of it, right? So we have that going on. Rich, yeah, we did FSOI a little bit earlier. So be sure to check that one. Let's look at two more to finish up. Let's look at RKT. I'm pretty sure Paul's been
RKT
had that one on your radar.
Rocket. Let's see. Okay, whoops. All right, so Rocket. Let's see. We had a nice wave 1, and then we've been in this wave 2 for quite a while. We're not down to the 618 yet, so I think it's possible we could ABC all the way down in between the 618 and 786 here before we get a wave 3 out of this.
Absolutely. But look for, for me, just kind of fundamentally, look for a buyable dip on this one. I think eventually it's going to work its way up. They had great earnings, incredible. There's more, mortgage applications have been really strong, so this is, one to keep an eye on it. It's weird that it's been getting beaten up like this. So let's just, kind of keep an eye on it and see if this thing could start to move. Definitely keep an eye on it. So that's a good one too. So again, but still looking a little bit bearish here overall based on the wave count. So good stuff there. Cesar, yeah. So with the Discord, just check the links in the description. The one link in there is the Trade with Paul link. That'll get you into the Discord. It'll also get the newsletter, private Twitter, and all that fun stuff. So it's great stuff there. And let's finish up with Neo. Baby Tesla.
The baby Tesla. Yeah, everyone's been playing this one. Let's see. Neo looks like we had a 1-2, and then another 1-2-3-4. Looks like we're in an impulse up, and the sub waves maybe pulling back a little bit here for another mini wave 2, but definitely in an uptrend here for Neo.
Still bullish. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I'm waiting for this thing to flush one day, but you gotta ride the waves, right? We're not gonna force anything. So definitely a good one to keep on the
higher lows the whole way.
Yeah, exactly. Well, good stuff, guys. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in, and a special thank you to Paul for being with us here again tonight. Again, great show, great Elliott Wave show. Again, just if you guys are new here, definitely be sure to subscribe on YouTube, and be sure to hit the like button. It really goes a long way, even if you're watching the recording. And also check out those links in the description if you just if you're not don't have time to be involved in the group. The Bubble Report is a great way to get a good start in the market and look at some wave count accounts that we're looking at each day. Otherwise, the Trade with Paul link is a good one too. So to get in the Discord and join us. So that would be great. We'd love to have you. So Paul, thanks again so much.
Hey, you're welcome, John. Fun show.
And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. You guys are the best. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your evening. We'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning for the Good Morning Market Prep video and the Bubble Report. And I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your evening. And stay healthy out there. And remember your risk first. And stay safe so you can stay in the